India's apex court has now delivered what can only be described as cementing that protection from arrest. A masterclass maybe in leniency. And the court's reasoning, brace yourself, what grave crime has she committed? She is not a drug lord or a terrorist. She hasn't committed murder. She is not an NDPS offender. Well, by that logic, cheating your way into the Indian Administrative Service by faking disability, caste status, and mental illness is just a minor clerical error, certainly not arrest-worthy.
This is a fine example of how media does not get law and start pandering to the emotions of its viewers. Has she committed murder? Why was that a relevant question? Well, there is a difference between violent crime and non-violent crime. A violent crime is like a murder. What happens there is that you do not want the accused to go out on bail because that affects the process of investigation. The murderer, the alleged murderer, might tamper with the witnesses, might intimidate them. They can get into the house of the complainant and ask them to overturn their statements. Well, in this case, this cannot happen. Puja Khedkar has already been sacked from UPSC and all the evidence is with the Union of Government. So there's no question of dispelling with that evidence. That is why the bail was given. Why no arrest? Well, arrest is different from punishment. Protection from arrest is not the same as protection from punishment. The court here are not saying that it's a clerical error and hence Miss Puja has to go home safely. No, the case is still going on. The point which is pointed out by the court is that in this investigation, the requirement of Puja Khedkar is minimal. You do not require her in the jail. That is why she's not a drug lord. She's not a murderer. In that context, the statement has been made. But media, as it wants to paint it to TRPs, it will give these reports in a sensational way. And the relevant issue which could have been pointed out by media in this case is the sheer shortage of judges in courts, which is leading to delay. Because delay is something which is making people believe that only arrest is enough. Put the man in the lockup and we will be happy. No, you shouldn't be happy. You should be happy only when the punishment is granted. But for that, months will take, years will take. That is a problem. But that isn't seen by the media as an important enough issue to discuss.